Right, hello everyone, good evening, welcome to Roma Theory. This is your weekly talk. What a week we have coming ahead of us. Massive week. I mean, this week can really be a revolutionary week. It can be a revolutionary week on two different fronts. On the Europa League front, because if you win, you would confirm you would get first. You'd get first in that group stage, and that's massive. And also, if you win the derby, let's not even think about that. But if you win the derby, not only you would have the keys of the city, but if you win that derby, you would kind of cancel, if we can use the word cancel, the initial bad stages of the season against Verona and Salernitana. You've heard it. If we get 6 points from Slavia Prague and Lazio, Roma is 100% back. That's it. It's easy to say because if from the Genoa game to the international break after the derby, we present ourselves with only one defeat, which is the Inter defeat, I think nobody here would have expected it, and I think everybody here would sign to see it. A lot of teams lost points this weekend, so getting 3 points in that derby game on Sunday would mean pushing, pressurizing them. You've already pressurized them this week because Atalanta lost points, Milan lost points, and Fiorentina lost points, and you won. So already you've reduced the gap, which is great to see. But as we always say, this needs to continue going. This consistency needs to continue. And as I've said many times, we need to start bringing this consistency into some big games. And our next big game, we all know what game it is. It's one of the biggest games of the season. Look, we'll speak about this upcoming week in this weekly talk. I'm not going to go into detail in both the Slavia Prague and the derby because that's obviously match previews. But it's Monday. It's the start of a massive week. Our week starts here. Let's talk about this upcoming 7 days. Also, we are going to look at some statistics from yesterday's game, some very interesting statistics, some individual statistics, and some extra comments which maybe I missed out in yesterday's match reaction. But I do want to start off with something very big, something very important for us. Pellegrini and Spinazzola are on the verge of coming back from their injuries. That's not written by any newspaper. That has been confirmed by Mourinho himself yesterday, post-match. He has said that Spinazzola and Pellegrini are coming back very, very quick. They can be available very, very soon, unlike Chris Smalling, who is going to be out for yet a long time. He's going to be out until Christmas, if not after Christmas. But Pellegrini and Spinazzola are on the verge of coming back. They've kind of, dealt with their injuries, and their recovery is going to plan. And that's what Jose said. Now, I ask myself if they can be available for the derby. Obviously, they won't be available for Thursday in Prague, but they could be available for the derby. Now, let me tell you one thing. Starting that derby on Sunday with Spinazzola and not Zalewski, in my opinion, you would start that game with a massive bonus. You would, because it's a derby. They have got Felipe Anderson, which I don't like as a player, but he always turns up against us. It's history now. He always scores against us. Zalewski is already a liability. We need Spinazzola back. I'm not sure if you'll be able to get back and start on Sunday. But let me tell you one thing. If he is starting that derby, we would start that game with a massive bonus. Because I think starting with Zalewski... And Pellegrini on the other side, again, we know Pellegrini very well. I mean, we've been with Pellegrini forever. And we know what kind of player he is. Let's be honest, he will never be able to start Sunday's derby. He will never be able to start it. That doesn't mean that he can't be available for it. Again, the more squad depth we add, the more rotations we can make, and the more impactful our rotations. So again, it would be great to see Pellegrini come from the bench. I do not think he'll start. I think we won't start with Pellegrini. Also because, look, we've understood it now. Derby is a big game. Derby is a massive game. Our approach in big games is definitely more defensive than offensive. And, that you look at past season games, and it's always been like that. You look at some of the big games that we played this season, and it's continuing to be like this. So starting with Lukaku, Dybala and Pellegrini in a game like the derby, it's a Lazio Roma game, so you're not even playing with a full Roma crowd. It would be a risk because Mourinho loves to share more attention to the defensive section in these games. And starting with Dybala, Pellegrini and Lukaku together in such a game could unbalance Mourinho's system. So I expect Christan and Paredes to start the derby. But again, I'm not going to get into that because first of all, we've got Slavia Prague first. And second of all, that's going to come in the dedicated match preview. But that's just what I'm saying. I don't think he'll start. I think he can impact. And maybe he can come from the bench. From how Jose described their injuries, they're almost back. I mean, he basically said that they are basically back very, very soon, which is promising. It's definitely promising. So that's that. I do want to, before speaking about the week, I do want to bring this heat map on the screen. Again, look at that heat map. Study that heat map. And this guy is our new Matic. Cristante is the new Matic. Orange is the new Black is the Netflix series. Cristante is the new Matic is our version of that. Look at that heat map and ask yourself a few questions. Look at that heat map and ask yourself, what did Mourinho tell Cristante the second Matic left? And that's actually very interesting. Because the second, look, Matic leaving. Let's come back to this because it's been a while. I think, and nothing will change no one and nothing, no matter what I read and no matter who I speak with, will change the perspective of how I see the Matic situation. Matic broke out with Mourinho. Matic left. You do not wake up one day and suddenly go, I want to leave the team. Something happened, Matic left. So Mourinho knew that Matic was leaving since they started their tensions. So the second Mourinho understood that Matic was out of the project, he went to Cristante and said, you need to be our new Matic. Because I know, and again, I'm not discrediting Paredes, but Paredes isn't Matic. Paredes has got a great touch. And it could be argued that in terms of touch, in terms of precision, Paredes is better. But Paredes gives you nowhere close the defensive security that Matic gave you. And Mourinho understood that it was too late in the transfer window to replace Matic very well. Especially if at the same time we were looking for a fundamental striker, which was back then the most fundamental piece of a transfer window. So Mourinho understood that the first thing he did when Matic left is he went to Cristante and said, you need to be your new Matic. And can I be honest with you? Okay, he might not be Matic, but he's not far off from being our new Matic. He's everywhere on that pitch. He's fitter than Matic because, again, Matic wasn't an injury-prone player, but he missed those 2-3 games. Cristante doesn't. Name me the last game Cristante missed. You could not name it. I challenge everyone here to name me the last game, Cristante missed because of injuries, not because he got rested because we were planning for Budapest and we were resting players, because of fitness problems. And another massive thing, that heat map shows an incredible vertical movement. Again, the red pieces are scattered in that midfield, but you can clearly see a vertical trace from his original position to him in front of the box where we want to defend. And that's exactly what, and you know, that's exactly what Cristante's transition is about. Cristante's transition is a vertical transition. Cristante's transition is a vertical transition which makes him run vertically and make himself valid up front. That's why he's now at, 2 goals scored in these first 11 game weeks, a bunch of assists provided, because somebody, and when I say somebody, Mourinho has specifically told him to pay closer attention to the offensive part of his play. Another reason he did that is not only because Matic left, but also because Mourinho knew that Renato Sanchez was going to be very injury prone. So he kind of got Cristante and went, I need you to be Matic in defense and Renato Sanchez in attack. That's effectively how Cristante is behaving. And that's exactly why I have been incredibly surprised by what Cristante has done in these first 12 game weeks. I am incredibly curious to see what Cristante has to offer from now on until the end of the season in bigger games. So yeah, I thought I had to share that because that is very interesting to see the transition. Last year, Cristante did not play in those positions. Last year, Cristante was fixed. Look, let me put an exclamation mark on the diagram so it's easier to understand. That's the exclamation mark. Sorry, let me move that. Sorry, let me just. Okay. Cristante last season was fixed over there. Didn't score goals, didn't provide assists, and he was fixed in that position. Maybe because Matic forced him to play in there. But Cristante last season was fixed over there where that black exclamation mark shows. He was never here. He was never over here. He was always down here. And that's another reason of why our transition to the attack has improved. It can always be better because, as we said yesterday, let me delete this now. As we said yesterday, our only creative player is Dybala. And again, that will change if Cristante starts to play more offensive football. That will change if Pellegrini will come back from his injuries once for forever. But at time of speaking, we lack creativity in some areas, and Dybala is the only creative player in our team. So that's it. But yeah, I thought I wanted to share that just because, as I always say, he's got that position which a lot of fans forget to give credit to because he's so foreshadowed by other performances. It all comes down to Lazio, the true test if we will win the treble this season or not. Treble? Mate, come on. How can we win the treble? We really need Spina. We definitely need Spina for the derby. Again, I've said it again. Starting that derby with Spina ahead of Zalewski I'm not saying it's like starting that game with 1 goal, but because it's not. But again, you understand how important it is. Obviously, with that being said, Spinazzola can't play on Thursday, even if he is feeling like he can play. Don't play. I'd rather have a 100% fit Spinazzola on Sunday than a 60% Spinazzola on Thursday. Karsdorp needs to play against Lazio. He's our best right back. Karsdorp and Spinazzola need to play. If Spinazzola isn't fit, then Celik and Karsdorp need to start. That's big. That's big, but I really don't want Zaleski to start that game. If Spina's fit, Karsdorp and Spina start. If Spina's not fit, Cilic and Karsdorp start. Cristante is massive for us. Lots of people don't understand how much important he is just because he became a meme. Yeah. Cristante is very important defensively and in the construction of the attack. That's why he plays most of the games with Mourinho. Yeah, the only thing that distinguishes Matic and Cristante is the ability to go forward with the ball. I agree. Cristante è fatto di adamanti assurdo. Was Dybala man of the match of the previous game? I don't know. I haven't seen any post from Roma saying man of the matches. Man of the match, Roma Lecce. I don't know. Right, let's speak about the week. Massive week. Again, I have to be honest with you. I really have to be honest with you here. I am really at that stage where I do not care about Thursday's game. And it's wrong mentality because Thursday's game is important. It is. Thursday's game is an important game, which, again, I have to be honest with you. I'm not that convinced we're going to win on Thursday for two reasons. One reason, I feel like the team already knows that the qualification is done, and so they'll kind of rest a bit and go, who cares? I mean, even if we don't win in Prague, we've got Servette and Sheriff Tiraspol, and they've proven themselves to be absolutely woeful. And the second reason is, 48 hours after that game, you've got the derby. Like, come on. I don't even blame the players for not caring on Thursday. Again, had it been, if you remember last season, our qualification onto the next round of the Europa League was basically dependent on that last game against Ludogorets. So obviously you had to start the first team. I would not start the first team on Thursday against Slavia Prague. I would allow a lot of rotations because realistically speaking, if we win, it's amazing. But you don't have to win. You can draw that game, and I wouldn't find any problems. You can draw that game just because you've won against them at home. So if you win in Prague, I mean, fair play, love it, amazing, great. But if we draw on Thursday, I would find no problem whatsoever. If we draw on Thursday, I'd actually consider it a good result. At the start of the season, when that group stage came out, I said the only result that I will forgive this team to not get 3 points from is the game in Prague against Slavia Prague. A draw is completely understandable on Thursday. Seen how we've performed in this group stage so far, seen the derby, and yeah, seen that we won against them. Hadn't we won against them last week, then maybe you had to win. But yeah, I just feel like there's such a big difference between us and the other three teams that even if you don't win on Thursday, and let's say you draw, you're gonna win against Servette and Sheriff Tiraspol. So, but again, I would love to win, and winning on Thursday means arriving first 100%. And if you arrive first 100%, if you're confirmed first position after Thursday, then against Servette and against Sheriff Tiraspol, you can genuinely start the academy team and nobody would care. In fact, it would be great because you would give them European experience, you would give them minutes in their legs, and you would rest all of your big players because you're already mathematically first in that group stage. So it would be great. There are a lot of benefits if we win on Thursday. But as a fan, I have to be honest with you, my attention is not on that game. My attention is on Sunday's game. I think everybody here agrees on that. If on Sunday we had Roma against Frosinone, then obviously my attention would be on Thursday's game. But the extent of Sunday's game is so big that it really makes you not want to care about Thursday's game. And that's it. That's what derby means. I'm already sick thinking about that game. I'm already sick because of the anxiety, because of that, I cannot even imagine what Friday will be like 24 hours before that game. Yeah, but we definitely will have a confidential boost because we won an incredible game yesterday and Lazio lost their game week this weekend. So, yeah. So that's that. Can this be the turning point of Roma's season? This week can play a big part in this. This week can play a big part in this because in the space of 7 days, you could end the group stage saga, and you could also give a massive sense to direction into this Champions League fight, and you would win against your biggest rivals. So this week can genuinely be the turning point of this season. If we win our next 2 games, Roma's 100% back. Yeah. What a week. Right, let's read some comments. Elsha on the left, maybe. Do you mean for the derby? I don't know. It could happen, but again, starting with El Shaarawy, Dybala, Lukaku, it could break Mourinho's defensive system heading into big games. Yeah, it could happen. I definitely start El Shaarawy over Zalewski. That's not even a question for me. Again, people might think I hate Zalewski. No, I don't. He provided a great assist yesterday, but defensively, he's not good. It's not his position. I'm not even in a position to blame him because he's bad. It's not his position. He can't defend well. And I know that Felipe Anderson always loves a goal against us. We need more security. I don't understand why Azmoun didn't get added to the UEL list. Would have loved him to start on Thursday. I would have loved him to. I think he wasn't added because of, again, of FFP problems, and you can't go over a certain amount of salaries in the UAE. I don't know. I don't even want to know, to be honest. I would have loved to start Azmoun on Thursday, but he can't. Life's tough. Been on one of the best until now, indeed. I think I could accept a draw on Thursday if we win Sunday, maybe even a defeat. Oh, losing on Thursday, that's a good question. That's a good question. Everybody answer this, yes or no, in the chat. Would you lose Thursday's game knowing you would win the derby? It's a yes from me. It's a yes from me. I wouldn't even think about it. I genuinely wouldn't even think about it. If I had to choose between defeat on Thursday and win the derby, or win on Thursday and lose the derby, option A, blindfolded. Winning a derby would be immense. Just because the last time we won a derby was 1 entire year ago. In fact, almost 2 years ago. I miss those vibes. I miss those mocking vibes. I miss those you're a loser vibes. Yeah. So yeah, it's definitely a yes from me. But I would rather draw than lose on Thursday. We need to win that game Thursday. We may drop points against those 2 teams. Nah. We won't lose against them. I mean, look, you're right. This team is weird. Yes, this team is weird. But we've seen Sheriff and Servette. We can now give judgments to them. And you really have to ask yourself, how do we lose against them? They are so bad. I mean, one of them is worse than the other. You would really have to just play bad. You would really want to lose against Servette. You would really have to want to lose that game. Otherwise, I don't see how Servette would even score against you. They come on, let's be serious. Okay, this team is weird, and that this team drops points, but losing against Servette, come on, yeah. But I do agree that Thursday's game is a massive game. If we win on Thursday, we can rest our entire starting 11 for 2 consecutive Europa League games. That's gold. That's water in the desert, looking at our injury crisis. We have Belotti and enough players to start in great things on Thursday, bro. Yeah, Belotti definitely starts on Thursday. Without that, yes, firmo col sangue per vincere sto derby. Mamma mia. Madre. Right, I'm going to catch you tomorrow. Who's playing tonight? Torino playing. Torino Sassuolo 1-1. Yeah, catch you tomorrow with the Slavia Prague match preview. Feel free to let me know in the comments of this video your thoughts prior to this massive week. And yeah, talk to you soon. Smash the like, subscribe to the channel. And yeah, talk to you very soon. Good night. Simo out.